Shalom and greetings, beloved saints. You're watching A Cry for the Church on GKTV. I'm your host, Apostle Rathebe-A, and this is a place where we discuss necessary but difficult conversations. Angakhuluma manje sikhona. We'd like to welcome you today, and we're grateful to the Lord for what He's doing in our lives, and amidst all the challenges that we are facing currently, we still see the grace of God, and we see God moving on our behalf. And I just want to also be grateful to the Lord as we go and we look at the stats and we look at the statistics. We can realize that we are sitting at over 22,000 COVID cases currently, and but we also have just over 10,000 recoveries, and we have God to give the glory to for that, and we are so grateful. Anyway, today I'm with my dear friend and brother here, Apostle Ndlovu himself. And Apostle, welcome to A Cry for the Church.
Apostle, thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Let me greet you. Greetings to our viewers at home. Thank you very much tonight.
Yes.
And discuss these conversations which are necessary to are difficult.
That's right. That's right.
That is very powerful. Thank you for having me, Bab.
No, thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Apostle, we'll get straight to the point. I'm sure the viewers are watching, and South Africa has been I was just going through social media and just looking at what is happening in the comments and the disgruntlement of people that are really beginning to be agitated, and people that are beginning to believe that they are being taken for granted, that the church at large has been taken for granted. And on the same note, I would really want to say as well, before we even get to that, yesterday we had an opportunity to have a prayer with that was organized by KZNCC and other fraternals, and we had a march, we had a prayer walk in the city of Maritzburg. It was powerful. It was powerful, and we are grateful to the Lord for the people that saw it fit that we have that, because and we're so grateful to the Lord for that. And subsequent to those prayers, powerful prayers, we had such an awesome presence of God, and we're looking forward to this, and we're looking forward now to the speech of the president, because we believed that the church has been praying. I mean, people in Cape Town have been praying, and people are praying all over the place. And even though we may not see each other that we're praying, but the fact is that people praying. So, and we are so excited, and we are looking forward to the speech of the president, because we really believe that corner into us we show about the church. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. And all the excitement got deflated, and we were so, and a lot of people were expressing their anger today. What is your take on that, Apostle?
Well, I think
yes, sir.
I think everyone who belongs to the church expected maybe something is gonna be said about the church. Well, those expectations are raised by a number of things, of which amongst them it is the lifting up of the regulations from other sectors, which are seen or deemed as more harmful or hotspots as compared to the church.
That's right.
Many people believe that the church is safer than malls. The church is safer than transport sector. The church is safer than all these other business sectors, if I may put it. So if we see the government lifting off regulations from other sectors, that raises hopes. He's gonna say, he has to say something. He has to say something about the church, even if he does not release the church at full blow at first, but there is gonna be that
that's right.
Let's give the church a chance, let's lift up or ease the regulation as far as the church is concerned. So if president mentioning nothing at all, like nothing at all about the church, I remember the only thing that was mentioned is that they had meetings with the council of churches. That's the only time where he mentioned the word church. So after that, there was nothing mentioned about the church, of which it brought about a disappointment to many citizens of South Africa, largely the church people.
And Apostle, the church has been praying. I mean, people in Cape Town have been praying, and people are praying all over the place. And even though we may not see each other that we are praying, but the fact is that people are praying. and I'm sure as well the viewers there at home, to think about this and really take it to heart in a sense that I have been reflecting. I have been asking myself questions. I've been deliberating, especially because of the show. That are we being reasonable? Are we asking for too much? Are we being are we being irresponsible with what we are requesting? And for all intents and purposes, when I look at some of the reasons that we're giving, they are valid reasons.
Valid reasons.
And I mean, we were listening to the voice note that was circulated also by Ubaba Kenneth Misho, the president of African Christian Democratic Party, who also feels very and has been feeling like that anyway. The church is being ignored. The church is being snapped. And because of the questions that I was asking, and I want the people that are watching us to engage us as well on this. Uguti, I asked myself a question that can we say, because now we're not being recognized as essential, right? And I asked myself, does the government really have to recognize us as essential? Then I asked myself, maybe they don't have to see us as essential. But we still see ourselves as essential.
We have to see ourselves as
essential. Maybe authorities don't see the church as essential because they don't go to church. They don't about the mandate of the church. Maybe they don't see the church as essential. And I think if they don't see it as an essential, they don't have to see it as an essential.
Yeah, they don't have to.
But there is a problem when they want us to believe that we are not essential. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think because we're living in a secular state anyway, we're living in a democratic country. People have a right, freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of religion, freedom of choice, and all of that. So even if bengasiboni sibalekile, right? Bengaboni isidingo sethu. Kodwa thina siyasibona isidingo sethu kwi constituency yethu. Bengeke yini ke uhulumeni athi asibaboni abantu bebalekile. Asibaboni thina. Kodwa bona kwi constituency yabo basibona bebalekile. Ne constituency yabo ibabona bebalekile. For instance, I mean, taverns may be important to other people, not to me.
Not to us.
You understand what I'm saying? Other things may be essential to other people, but not to me. And it's okay for taverns not to be essential to me. That's my democratic right. It's okay if people see the church as a non-essential, because that's their democratic right. But I believe that they don't have the right to cause us to believe that we are not essential.
We are not essential just because basbona kanjani.
Yeah, can you assist me on that, because I would really like us to start our conversation at that level today.
I think, Apostle, you cannot begin to measure the importance of the church.
Yes.
Speaking of its true nature and stature. Because when we reason from the Bible, it's considered as the pillar and ground of truth.
That's right.
So we can't begin to compare the church with other sectors. I think it comes to this point, Yoguti. There are different approaches when reflecting on what the church is. There are different mountains that people stand on when they define the church. Some reflect ebangeni politically, and umabelibuka politically they deem it as a social gathering. Yabon ingakho abanye belibuka ukuthi you see when we cry city, why is the church not opened? Abantu bazothi we are playing victims because nebhola alibukwa. So uyabona ukuthi this person is reflecting politically ibandla ulibeka kwi dimension noma kwi level of being a social gathering. So we can't speak for soccer because we don't represent soccer.
That's right.
We can't speak for sports and entertainment sectors.
That's right.
We are speaking for what we represent, which is the church. Abanye they reflect economically. They see the church as a money laundering scheme, which does not contribute to the economy. That is another mountain of reflection on what is the church. Abanye they reflect religiously. They think it's just a game of numbers, generosity. Uzobezwa abantu bethi the church is a body, akubalekile ukuthi lihlangane, isho singahlangene, we are still a church. As if fellowship is no longer part of who we are. Yes, we are the church. Buildings are not the church, but fellowship forms part of who we are.
That's right.
You can agree partially with a set truth. Uthi fellowship is not important. We are still the church and we are still operating.
That's right.
I think that is a religious view, a game of numbers and a game of tricks and gimmicks and thoughts. Well, kunenye mountain which I think is very important, which is spiritual perception and reflection, which is biblical. Ukuthi ke it depends on which mountain one stands.
That's right.
Yabon? I think the question engimele siphendule ukuthi what is the church to you? I think that is the question. Answer yakho is a dividing factor. It divides camps. How do you view the church? Do you think the church is a game of numbers? Do you see the church as part of religions? Do you see the church as a money-making scheme? Leon will determine where you stand. But I believe abantu abareflector ebangeni standing on the mountain of being spiritual and biblical. They deem the church as essential.
That's right.
Especially in this time.
That's
and
right.
I believe we fall under that group. 18. The church is essential because we see beyond in numbers. We see beyond money. We are seeing beyond social gatherings.
That's right.
We are seeing beyond. We know the church for what it is in its nature and for its weight and stature in the spirit. And we say the church is essential. So I'm agreeing with you. We constituency we are essential.
That's right.
It's our right in this democratic country, which is essential. Nabantu esibaholayo, they think we are an essential institution in this country.
That's right. I could not agree with you more. And I want to, this is my view, Apostle, in what you just said. I do believe that there is blatant discrimination.
Okay.
There is blatant discrimination and intolerance as well, religious intolerance. If you look at how we are snubbed, you see, being engaged is another issue.
Yeah.
Right, being engaged is another issue, and the question as well is it, are we being engaged to be listened to, or is it a publicity stunt? So yeah, leaders of the church, we're not going to listen to them. We're going to play delaying tactics. We're going to make it a point that I can show you and delay this thing. We may even take it to the next 3 months, 4 months. But so long as we are meeting. Because local we are meeting, it gives an impression that we care. But there is nothing concretized that comes out of those meetings. And as well, consultation. I've said this with all due respect to other structures that are there, that the way the church is wired, consultation it becomes very key in relation now to some of the decisions that are made. And so I must say, as a citizen of this country, as a child of God, as a man of God, I feel that our government does not take us seriously, and that is number one. And number two, I feel they are snubbing us. I feel that there is some level of discrimination and intolerance. Not so much about churches opening. Not so. For me, it goes beyond.
It goes beyond that.
It goes beyond the opening of churches. It comes to a place where people, for me, can you listen to us? Can even though the church is not important to you, but it's my democratic right as a citizen of this country, in a democratic country, to express my religious views and to hold the church essential in my views, even when you don't see it essential. You don't have to come to church.
You don't have to.
Nobody was ever forced to come to church. Nobody was ever in this country, I don't remember people putting, or men and women of God or Christians in general, taking guns and putting them on people's heads to force them to come to church. You have a right to stay at home. You have a right to stay at home. You have a right not to see the church as essential if you choose to. But we see the church as essential. And our constituency see the church as essential.
That's right.
And that must never be taken from us. It must never because if it's taken from us, then our right to freedom, our right to freedom of religion, freedom of association, freedom is now tampered with and infringed upon. And that is something we can never allow in our lifetime. And I believe that every Christian has got to gear up. And I also want to believe that people that that it's very funny how indlela abantu sebesaba ukufa ngayo. I'm not saying, please, I'm not saying that we should be careless. I'm not saying that we should be irresponsible with our behavior. And I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that it's very funny how we have been made to see death. From a Christian perspective. You know, sibona ukufa manje ungathi hey sisaba ukufa manje. We are afraid of death. The Bible says death, where is your sting? But people are saying, hey, and for me it translates into us loving our lives more than we love Christ.
More than we love Christ.
Yeah, loving our lives, loving our comfort, loving our safety, loving. But who can be saved without Jesus?
Who can be saved? No one can be saved. I think it comes to a point, there's a lot of compromise going on.
That's right.
Especially in the world, Naktina as Christians.
That's right.
I think the influence of the world
has
played a major role in shifting our perception, in viewing everything.
That's right.
Just like you've mentioned, in viewing death and the church.
That's right.
I think we are so influenced. You'll find there are people who belong under the ban of Christianity, who really think it's not right to open churches. They really believe it is not right. They believe they are going to get sick and they are going to die. And then they are going to come back to church and declare the name of Jesus is above every other name. It's above every virus. It's above corona. Whereas they are not even voicing out. I think Apostle, it goes to a point even though the government does not recognize us, but we are making our voice heard.
That's right.
And our views known.
That's right.
Even though it's done against our will.
Good job.
We are not agreeing with this. So we see the church as essential. And essentially you're going to send us believe church houses must be opened.
That's right.
Nevertheless, even if they don't open, or Shadrach no Abednego bashonjalo. But even if it does not deliver,
that's right.
Even if we die,
that's right.
But it shall be known.
That's right.
Don't agree with this notion.
That's right.
So I believe we cry for the church, and this broadcast,
that's right,
is voicing out that.
That's right.
Even if the government does not recognize us, we recognize ourselves, and we are against
That's right.
We are saying the church is essential. Omunye umuntu angabring up a point which angazitshela ukuthi valid. That is not only Christianity, ama religions zonke avaliwe. I think we must come to a point bazalwane where we believe ukuthi we don't speak for everyone. We don't represent everyone. We must know what we represent and whom we represent. We can't be speaking on behalf of religions.
That's
we
right.
speak on behalf of Christ and what the Bible teaches.
That's
what
right.
does the Bible teach? What does Christ, how have we received and known Christ?
That's right.
So that is where we stand.
That's right.
We're not representing wonke omunye umuntu. Omunye ngathi kuvalwe yonke into. We asikhulumeli labo thina. Bazozikhulumela nabo. So we are speaking for the church.
That's
the
right.
church is essential.
And I like what you are saying.
Yeah.
There's something that you said, Mpostoli, eti noma ngabe awavulwanga baba.
Yeah.
But president no hulumeni, they will know we disagreed until the end. And number two, we will refuse to be acclimatized to the notion that the church is not is not essential. And I want you to njengomzalwane refuse ukuvuma uthi ibandla alikho essential just because our government and other people do not see the church as essential.
Sure.
Ungavumi noma ngabe thiwa abawavula amabandla. So lokho sikhulumile kuyoze kubuye uJesu.
My God.
Sikhuluma into ukuthi the church is essential. Because our point here is not so much being recognized by government, but as you said, it is making our views known. That we stand for Christ and we see the church as essential to those that are its or her constituency.
Amen.
Apostle, I want us to also, and thank you for that, I want us to get to the second point.
Okay.
And because we will be taking calls.
All right.
I want us to get to the second point. And please, as you watch us, we'll let you know from the studio when we will be taking calls, and we shall receive your calls. Your comments are important to us. I have, as I go through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I realize there are different views out there.
Yeah.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
There are different views out there. But I've also realized that there is a notion of uniformity to assignment. And let me explain.
Okay.
I realize that people are becoming critical of each other.
Okay.
It's like umuntu othi mayemenyiwe azoshumayela ngomthandazo abese shaya isifundiso se financial management and prosperity.
Yeah.
Asishaye. Obiziwe ukuthi azokhuluma ngema finances ashaya umthandazo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obiziwe ukuthi ashuma akhulume ngomshado ashaya abantu abasha.
Yeah.
Uyabo.
Yeah.
Ubona ukuthi it's emphasis of one point at the expense of the other. And that imbalance should not be allowed.
Yeah, it should not
and
be
the reason I'm saying that, I've realized that there will be people that will say, no, asikho isidingo sokuthi siloko sikhuluma asithandazeni. Kube nabantu bathi hey lo mthandazo kade Africa ithandaza. Hey sekuyisikhathi manje sokuthi asikhulumeni. Kube nabantu bathi hey isikhathela ukukhuluma nokuthandaza. And you realize now that people think that we have to be uniform in order for us to walk together in unity. And I believe that we are the body of Christ.
Yeah.
And it's omunye uyathandaza.
Yeah.
It's a burden that God has placed for a time such as this. Omunye uyafundisa. uNkulunkulu umnikeze nje the ministry of teaching the church, right, to align the church. Omunye sine talk show. We are deliberating, we are doing apologetics for the church. We are engaging. Abanye, they are intellectuals. They are challenging and increasing the intellectual capacity of the church. All these people are doing one thing. They are serving God in different ways. Which simply means that not everybody, I don't see, not everybody, we can't all be doing the same thing.
We can't.
I think and criticizing each other, I don't see it helping us.
It's raising one truth at the expense of another. Ngithandile le umpostoli oyishilo ukuthi wonke umuntu one role ayidlalayo. It's very important kulesikhathi esikusona.
That's right.
If you are praying about the church, it does not mean ukuthi funa ugxeke lo khulumayo. Uyabona? If ukhuluma, it does not mean funa ugxeke lo voice out intellectually or intelligence.
That's right.
Because we are battling many forces and they come in different ways.
That's right.
Khona ama forces azofika ilethe ibattle intellectual to the church.
That's right.
We need intellects.
That's right.
To face that stream or that force.
That's right.
Abanye bazofika spiritually attacking the church. We need people who have a burden to pray, who are gonna battle that in that dimension. We can't battle all attacks from one perspective.
That's right.
There must be different roles played, but we must understand what all these roles they are played to achieve one goal.
That's right.
The goal is one.
That's right.
But we come from different streams.
That's right.
We come from different streams.
That's right.
But the goal is to achieve that end.
My sentiments.
Yeah. So we can't be saying this is wrong, this is wrong. Let us be able to discern. Well, I think enye into impostoli edala these divisions. Noma ngithi this engathi asikho uniformly. It's lacking. I believe we lack, if I may put it, people who are going to be voices over us in channeling the church, in channeling the perception or the perspective of the church. We have a TV channel together with the world. That is why you find with so many times we think now like the world, because si channel is so sayodwa. We have a TV, we have news, we have a radio, we have Facebook and everything. But I think we lack lento yokuthi there are these voices that are recognized, which are going to channel the church.
That's right.
The body.
That's right.
Not now locally. I know you channel your church locally. I channel the church, I pastor locally ngama teachings engwenzayo. But we lack these voices which are going to channel the church now in a body platform. This is how things are going to be done. This is how we're going to use that member. This is how we're going to cross-pollinate our graces to form this one force to achieve that end.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I like that cross-pollination of graces.
Yes, yes.
And people must understand that we have different roles, different giftings, and different graces that God has given us. He's given us different burdens. Don't exalt what you're doing over what somebody else is doing. All these graces are working together for the purposes of achieving a goal, in relation to serving the church. And it's my prayer that God will raise men and women who would refuse to strengthen the hand of the enemy against the church.
Sure.
Because a lot of people now, what I see happening sometimes in our quest to get our points across, to make our views heard, sometimes the way is kurumangayo. We speak in such a way that we are strengthening the hand of the enemy against the church. We are literally strengthening the hand of the devil. And you find that in the process there are divisions that are caused. And sometimes taking the dirty laundry of the church as the church to the public. It's an oxymoron for me. It's very oxymoronic. I don't want to lie to you. It's oxymoronic for us to take the dirty linen of the church and hang it out there. Abomdeni masebexabene akumele baye emgaqweni bayolwa. Yabona kumele ngoba kusasa bayothi sebebuyisene sebenikeze isitha ngaphandle ammunition against them. Kusasa bazobe bethi hayi wena kajeni ungasitsheni wawuxabene nomfweni. Why? Because we have taken the dirty linen of the church. I do believe there is a place where we need to address some of the concerns that people have, some of the wrongs that need to be corrected within the church. But I feel it's important that we do so responsibly and understand we have a world that hates us. Jesus made it very clear that if they hated me,
they will hate you.
They will hate you. So we are not the world. We're not looking for love from the world. It was made very clear that the world shall hate us. And I believe that it's a reflection of the truth that Christ said, that the world shall hate us. And so instead of fighting to get our points across, instead of fighting to confuse people at this particular time. And I'll go back to what Bishop Espinzovu has said. What inyoka mayisengene endlini asingaloku sibheka ukuthi isibe asilwe nenyoka sibulala inyoka sibulala inyoka siqede and make sure that we are now safe. And then in the comfort of our homes sesi safe, let's begin to deliberate ukuthi no kodwa wena uyabheda yeka lento yenzayo kodwa wena ayikho right lento yenzayo. We can't be trying to put our house in order. Kodwa inyoka nayo iyashaya. No inyoka iyashaya. Inyoka iyashaya. Inyoka iyalimaza. Inyoka idala chaos. Kodwa thina sibhizi we are trying ufana nomuntu okumele ahamba ejimini angayi. Kuthi amasela mayifika endlini kube imayizama ukufunda the art of self defense. That for me doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make
you
any
don't
sense.
learn the art of defense at the battleground. No.
You don't.
When we are on the battleground, we fight. Whatever we did not learn gahle, so
we can't apply.
So we are siyibone masesukile from the battlefield. And I think people don't understand that we are not in a classroom anymore right now. We are in an exam room. Now we are in an exam room. Our faith is tested. And some of the things that we can correct, honestly, I do feel that we need to correct them in a way that respects the unity of the church.
I think, Impostole, just to add on that.
Yes, sir.
Maybe a subject for another day.
Okay.
I think voice out our concerns publicly. I think it's also a cry.
That's right.
Yoglekama platforms created by the church to voice out these ideas, because some of them voice them out as ideas. God uthola ukuthi kulwa ideas voice out. It's just that idea yami neyakhe ihlukile. Then I voice it out to platform where I think I'm going to be heard. Whereas masibuyele eBhayibhelini go Acts 15 there were councils. La khona lithi Bible there were men from Jerusalem who went out to Gentile churches telling them that they must circumcise to obtain salvation. And the Bible says Paul, even though he knew the truth, he didn't want to put his point across kuma converts. This is wrong. Rather, they took the matter to Jerusalem and they had a council. What should we say to the Gentiles? Should they circumcise, or should they just believe by faith and they are saved? Until there was a point reached. There was a common ground reached. They don't have to circumcise, but powerful. They should refrain from eating strangled animals and so on. So the church came out with one voice. They resolved their differences in a private council
privately
kuthe mase phuma kwaphuma incwadi engaveli kuPeter engaveli kuJohn evela kwi leadership yebandla ukuthi this is what all the churches should do. So I think we should have those platforms,
and that's a powerful template of leadership.
I think we should have those councils which do not represent personnels, institutions that represent the church. This is what the church is saying. Where sizobulela khona wonke ama indifferences ethu so abulale wonke until kusukume into yokuthi this is what we are saying, and then the word goes out. Leyo nto yosiza ukuthi singakwazi ubulwa noma sigweme ukulwa amabhedle zethu in public.
That's true. And the saddest thing, you said something very profound, Apostle. And the saddest thing is this: as we take those battles publicly, we are not. I think it's one of the things that cause us not to be taken seriously. That causes us not to be taken seriously because umasilwa soto. Abantu babhekana naba abanye bathi lokho abanye basho lokho abanye basho lokho abanye basho. So that unified voice leyo where the Council of Jerusalem came out with one voice, and the churches of the Gentile churches were given a clear instruction as to how salvation comes by the church that agreed. And I think those things are very, very important for us to put those differences aside and be able to get into this. I want, we will take calls, but before we take calls, I want to get to this one.
Okay.
All right. To get to this one, many people have expressed their views.
Okay.
There was a video that was circulating of the President of the United States who decided to say churches must open. And he was criticized badly because of that. And another man of God in the United States issued out a public statement. And I think it also goes to this thing that we're talking about. Issued a public statement and said, this is very irresponsible, it's a risk, and he will wait to hear the voice of medical science, and his people will not go into to the church. He's a responsible pastor and all of that. And that also caused commotion. And I see the same trend in the country. But in this case, it was a man that pastors a church. I've also picked up a particular trend. That some of the people that are talking don't have churches.
They are not even pastors.
They are not even pastors. I mean, for instance, we'll just say names like I mean, I listen to the man who is assumed or seen as a great mind, as a great philosopher, and with great ideologies, controversial ideologies. Bishop Umaponga. Right. Uyakhuluma and but mangasumbuza uthi I'm not saying that akumele ukhulume ngoba awunalo ibandla. If you are part of the church, you can talk on matters of the church, right? But mangasumbuza uthi which church are you pastoring? It's like going to the police and telling the police force how to and for me to say you have been a pastor before, you have been doing this 35 years ago, I can't speak at a level your spiritual has been spiritual history that I have been. I used to spiritual used to want to help me now. Who you are now matters because the voice that comes from you represents your current views. To say to me ukuthi benge ngaba umzalwane mina benge ngaba umfundisi akungisizi ngalutho ubani manje, who are you now? And if by any chance you are no longer who you used to be because you have found different philosophies, why are you trying to proselytize the church ngama ideologies wakho? Because you should be able to go, if lento ishoyo in a month, why don't you go and start your own constituency? Why don't you just go there, start your own?
Then ukhasha le ophuma kuyona. I think to add on that, Impostor, many people, I think abantu abazoyi understand kangcono are people who are in the roles of leadership in the church. Akhuluma wonke umuntu in any structure. You can go even outside the church. Akhuluma wonke umuntu. There are voices akhethiwe. I think enye into esidayisile in the church. You know, when you go to political parties, let's say kune scandal esikhona within that political party. uzobezwa mabe voice ama views abo bazothi we cannot comment any further on that notion because there's investigation going on, or
That's
there
right.
is a spokesperson for this political party. So kune regulation on who is supposed to speak.
That's right.
Who is not supposed to speak.
Powerful.
Ayikho institution emayo ekhuluma wonke umuntu kuyona. Ayikwazi ukuma. Ayikwazi ukuma. There must be some people, and I believe it's people abakuma roles of leadership. Okufanele bakhulume. It can't be everyone speaking. There must be some people spoken, even on the day of Pentecost. Kwathi makwehla umoya ingcwele akuvelanga bonke bakhuluma, but mina ngihambisana nani, I think we are drunk. Omunye wathi usibani banevela unenkinga yokuphuza. There was a man appointed Peter.
Yes, sir.
Waphuma Peter representing the whole body. These men are not drunk, as you say, but this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. So I think there are people ekumele noma kungamele bakhethwe. Believers must recognize their roles within the body. Ukuthi le ayingangama kufanele ngikhulume la. Kunabantu ekufanele bakhulume. Ngisho ekhaya kuhlangena ama meetings. Kunabantu abakhulumayo etafuleni. Abanye bafike just because they are members of the family. Bafike bezowuthamela umhlangano. But there are people who are elected and selected by virtue of their stature and by grounds upon which they are speaking and the pedestal ekhulunywa kuyona. So njengamanje I think ukuvoice out kwa wonke umuntu nongabelong esontweni. Ama views akhe kufanele siwathathe serious. Umuntu ongabelong kuthina. Ngoba akasi understand ukuthi sikhalelana. Uyabona? Uma ufike eGibhithe ama Israel egqila ziwezwe ekhala. Ungathi wena you are getting free food here. Nikalelana. You don't understand their pain because you are not a Jew. So even someone who does not belong to the church can't understand what we are going through because they are not part of us.
That's right.
So I think it's people who are part of us. Nakhona, there must be strong regulations on who is supposed to speak. I think we must teach these to our churches.
That's right.
When do you speak? When do you not speak?
That's right.
What authority do you have? What authority don't you have?
That's
right. Njengamanje wonke umuntu uyakhuluma, voicing different things,
that's right,
which is compromising us on
and
this.
I had to tell abazalwane basebandleni ukuthi ngiyacela abantu abami ukuthi uma nibona ama arguments on Facebook and men and women of God talking, phumani lapho.
Sure.
Ninakhulumani ngamavesi, nikhulume ngamaBhayibheli, nithatha ithombe, but phumani lapho. Ninga engage ukuyithola manje seni busy ni engage and going back and forth nengeko khona lapho kulelo point lelo lokuthi not everyone is supposed to be a spokesperson.
Not everyone is supposed to speak.
No, thank you so much, Kachel. I hope that all is still going well and you are enjoying this topic and you are tuning in and you are ready for your comments, you're ready for calls, you're ready for voice notes, and we will be taking calls and nayenye ifika ingeni call. GKTV, hello.
Hello.
Hello, yes sir.
Hello.
Siyakwamukela, yebo baba, siyakwamukela GKTV. Hello.
Hello.
Yes sir.
How are you, sir?
Yes, how are you?
How are you, person?
I'm right by the grace of God, Baba. How are you?
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, yes, thank you, Apostle. My concern, Apostle, we are speaking to Pastor Tavang from Pretoria.
Oh,
and thanks for this opportunity. My concern is that the people that are talking, those who don't have churches, my worry is that we don't want to be sound bad, but my worry is that majority of them are not from this country. And they get publicity more than the pastors who've got the genuine gospel who are in South Africa. So my issue is that the council that you're talking about, let the council be a genuine council of the great pastors who've got same thing that we have. Let the council have the people that love the Lord. Let the council be people who are genuine, who will be able to lead this good us as pastors of South Africa. The reason why the government today is not taking us serious is because of the people that come from outside who are taking opportunity, who are making things, the best things over our people in South Africa. So thank you very much for this platform. And may the good Lord bless you guys. And thank you. Keep up the good work.
No, thank you very much. And we are good. Thank you, sir, for your contribution. We really appreciate that. And thank you, sir. GKTV, hello. GKTV, hello. GKTV, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. I can hear you. Our caller was struggling a bit there, and it was an international call. Let's hope he will call back. Yeah. So it's very interesting what Pastor Tabang has said.
Okay.
And I have been saying that maybe some of us made the biggest mistake in relation to, or maybe rather, let me say, Council of Churches. May not have had a clear plan of assimilating Pentecostal and charismatic churches. Because
leader was speaking, but the father of the nation was speaking, and the nation listened. So as the church, we lack a fathering spirit, we lack a fathering body, and when it speaks, everyone listens. It is not because of the position they hold, but because of the grace, of the fathering grace that is upon them, that are able to speak and we listen. So that is one of the things that we need to cry for as a generation, to cry for a fathering spirit that will speak as the voice of the church, and we follow suit and we listen. However, that one of the things is what is we need to teach our members first at a local level. Because if they do not listen and revere their pastor at the local level, it will be a problem in the national level. Right. My second point is that I was being with this person, and he was saying to me, the church is essential in the spirit. I am saying we know that as Christians, as believers, we are confident of that. We know of that.
That's right.
But we need the government to recognize as such.
That's right.
So that in going about our business at this day and age, it becomes legally and regulated. And it is right according to the state, not according to the state. According to the state, we are fine. But now we want to be recognized as essential as all other businesses. And this thing is sinister. Why the president didn't declare the church as essential yesterday? Because you cannot say the alcohol is now essential. People can go and buy alcohol at a certain time in certain days. But you do not want the church to open at certain times and certain days. Because the same people who are getting an alcohol fix, some of us, we need the spiritual fix that we can get at church. And they need an alcohol fix, they go and buy alcohol. No, we also need a spiritual fix. Which we can only get in fellowship. There is power in fellowship, and that's what we want. That's what we are crying for. We are not crying for offerings. We are not crying for tithes, because very as equal. Even if not because of tithes, not because of offerings, because
that's right.
We are not crying for those things. We are crying for the fellowship, for the gathering of the saints, because we equip one another, and we are able to deal with a lot of things other than what people are thinking we are crying for.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor Ntsibande, all the way from Pretoria. We really, really appreciate your contribution, man of God. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Wow, a valid point there by the man of God there, Pastor Ntsibande, and also Pastor Tabang. And I think these are things that we're supposed to take seriously, to take very seriously. And maybe we're going to take just a little break. We're going to come back and we're going to continue with that conversation. We have now opened for calls on our the number that is on the screen, and we will continue to have this conversation. We will be back in a short while. You are still watching A Cry for the Church. Angakhuluma manje sikhona. Siyabuya manje. Well, welcome back. You're watching A Cry for the Church on GKTV. Apostle Rathebe, we are here with Ubaba Mpostoli Usihle Ndlovu. We have a caller all the way from Saudi Arabia. Man of God, greetings.
Greetings, Apostle. We thank God for the show.
Yes, sir.
Man of God, I won't be long.
Yes, sir.
But I want to express a view that really breaks my heart.
Yes, sir.
The fact that the opposition to the opening of the church is no longer external, but the opposition is internal. I like the point that you raised with the apostle there, that sometimes we as Christians, we have to find platforms where we discuss things that concern the church.
That's right.
And come up with one thing. That I'm in full agreement. That's very correct, because even myself, there was one time when I was engaging in these days in Facebook.
Yes, sir.
This party, I saw that now it's becoming wrong that us as Christians, in the midst of unbelievers, we are disagreeing with them. I saw that no, it is very wrong. We have to have a platform where we can be able to settle our own disagreements and come back with one notion.
That's right.
Secondly, in a point that, in fact, the government, what now they've done, they've infringed constitutionally on the right of the church itself, the way they recognize the church in the constitution. Then they are infringing now on our own personal right to gather our freedom of religion. So they have infringed in two main rights: right of the church as a standalone, and on the rights of us as believers, as the people of the country. So that is, they have to start to see that. And I love the point that apostles you have made, that whether they recognize us as essential or not, it does not, that will not render us as essential. No. We ourselves, we know how essential we are as a church.
That's right.
We don't need the world or the government to recognize us as essential.
That's right.
We know who we are in Christ and how essential we are.
That's right.
I love and that is what every believer and who is even listening should understand. They understand.
That's
and
right.
Then lastly, Apostle, I think on the churches, I will be honest, I'm not the minister of the gospel. But I think one thing that we should look into, I think abazalwane selefundisekile to understand that yes, the church is a person, is in a person. We are the temple of God. But abazalwane, they have not come to the spiritual and revelation of understanding the power of gathering. That's why you hear these factions in between the saints. There are different views about how they view the importance of gathering. You can see that there's a lack of teaching, of understanding the importance of gathering. Now, my last point is this, Apostle. We are praying, and I know I have this faith that soon enough they're going to allow us to gather. But there's something in my spirit that the devil is putting a trap for us. That when we go back to the churches, he will want to make sure that some few people will get this disease and then use that against the church. So I'm saying, while we advocate and we are praying, we should pray and put all necessary measures in place so that the trick of the devil, because he can no longer now stop us from gathering, but he will put tricks ahead that when we are now back in our places of worship, then we might find ourselves contracting this thing. And then he will use that against us.
Wow.
We understand. So now I'm saying, while we are advocating and praying, we also pray for that and also start to put all our resources together to make sure that we have everything in place so that we do not fall into the trap. I thank you, Apostle. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mshengu. From Saudi Arabia, calling us from Saudi Arabia. Yeah. What a valid point. What a valid point, Kacheni, that we must be careful not to fall in the trap of the enemy. That when the churches are opened, wow, what a valid point. That all of a sudden people will be
conduct this disease.
There'll be people that may be planted even. Who knows? And all of a sudden that look at the Bloemfontein. I'm not saying that the Bloemfontein saga. People were planted there, but it's possible that you want the church to be open, and then if there's carelessness there, then people. So we must be careful as well.
Just to prove a point.
Just to prove a point that nanitin fudama bandlavul zipegene utininjan. So that we are discredited in the process. That was a very. I believe that is the work of the Spirit right there.
Cool.
We have another caller. We're going to take another caller. Stay with us. Cry for the church, GKTV. Caller, you are on GKTV. Babu Kanyile, ninjani mfundisi?
Usokoti.
Siyaphila njani Sokoti? Welcome to a cry for the church. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would also like to tabulate or expatiate based on the.
Yes, Baba. Yes, no. Silalele, Baba.
All right. Uma ngabe ubheka i-constitution yase South Africa.
Yes.
Singathi ku chapter number 2, verse number 15, evesini lika A.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone has the right to freedom of conscience, religion, thought, belief, and opinion.
That's right.
Okay, if on to kala agele, section 2, everyone has the right to freedom of conscience, religion, thought, belief, and opinion. That's why number 2 religious observances may be conducted at a state or state-aided institution that's provided that those observances follow rulers may be under appropriate public authority. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The constitution South Africa.
Yes, ma'am.
Uma uthatha ukubheka uyabona ukuthi bayasithunaza ekuthenini singazazi zonke lezi zinto ukuze bezosifundezela ngazo.
Yeah.
Kuyilungelo lethu ukuthi sibuyele emabandleni njengalokhu nabo bebadedela abanye. We have a right. Number 2, it is true ukuthi ngempela siyamdinga spokesperson ozomela ibandla as a whole, ibandla lonke. Uma ubheka chapter number 3 kuJohn, uNicodemus ungomunye spokesperson lapha. Maye yaJesu uthi Jesu siyazi, akasho ukuthi ngiyazi.
Uthi siyazi.
Uthi siyazi ukuthi wena uvela kuNkulunkulu. Okusho ukuthi lokho kukodwa kukhona abarepresentayo ababengaphansi kwakhe ukuthi mina I came to you Jesus as a spokesperson salaba bantu ukuthi we know ukuthi you come from the Father ngoba akekho umuntu ongenza lezi zinto engaqhamuki kuBaba.
No, a very yes, Baba.
So lokho kukodwa kuyadingeka ukuthi sibe nomuntu ozoba uye ozoma ngaphambili alimele ibandla.
Yes, sir.
Wonke ama-views abantwana bakaNkulunkulu abaholi bonke bazokwazi ukuthi uma bewasherela yena wadlulisele phambili.
No, kunjalo baba, kunjalo. And I think when Babu Sokoti ngenkosi ukuthi lento isho is very important nabantu abalalele ukuthi the importance of understanding the constitution so that we argue from a point of being informed and also understanding as well what does the state of emergency mean in relation to civil liberties as well, because that also will be very, very important for us to understand. So but thank you so much for your contribution. We do value your contribution. We will take another caller on the line. Siyabonga kakhulu Sokoti. GKTV, hello.
Hello, njani?
Siyaphila ninjani?
Siyaphila ba.
Yes, sir.
Yes, hey, sinimamele, what an interesting topic, love.
Yes, who are we speaking to?
You're speaking to Bonkosi Pastor Mkhalisa from Believers Center under Apostle Makwati.
Oh, yes. Great man, how are you?
I'm good, Baba. How are you?
No, the Lord is good and gracious, man.
Amen. Sithi mina baba kulento esikhulu daba enikhuluma ngalo. Uma uhulumeni esibuyisele emabandleni under the discussion. Maka expect uhulumeni uba azizungabikho ama cases emasontweni njenganaloko ekhona ema clinics, njenganaloko ekhona ema police station, and yet ama police station awavalwanga, and yet ama clinics awavalwanga. So mabangathi uma besivulela bavule ngoba besithuphile ukuthi any case etholakalayo then we must close down. We will deal with that as they are dealing with the other departments.
Valid point.
And number two, Baba, let's also, as we discuss about it, let's now get to the party with the how do we now go? If government sees, how do we come up with our own plan now in terms as the believers to make the government to obey to us? Because sometimes when we speak soft, government doesn't understand that language. Sometimes we need to do like the guys about to the sender, so that he sees the importance of the church. Thank you so much, Ba.
No, thank you very much, man of God. Valid point right there. Valid point, Kacheni. Is there anything that you can say in relation to what Umfunis is saying?
Yeah, I think comparison
yes,
is quite valid.
Yes.
I think it goes back kulento yokuthi, is the government forced to recognize the church as essential? And then we did put across the point, it's a powerful point yokuthi, why will the church be shut? Just because I think a conversation enjalo nomunye wabazalwane uthi kimi there were people who contracted the virus. I think he's referring to the Bloemfontein saga.
That's right.
Yokuthi esontweni kutholakala abantu ababe infected by this. And then I said to this person, we should not ignore ukuthi nakwezinye indawo abantu bayithola. Why magnify ukuthi itholakale esontweni more than kwezinye indawo? If itholakale esontweni laselavalwa nasema malls, there are people who contact this at malls. There are people who contact this bebe traveler everywhere. That's why we put on masks. That's why we sanitize hands.
That's right.
Masingene itolo.
That's right.
So we can magnify a negative case of one institution over others.
That's
and
right.
say isonto. You know, like a point why I raise. I think Sasi in any broadcast some time ago. The very same people abaye emsebenzini, the very same people who go to shopping malls, it's the very same people that come to churches. It's not like there's a group evalelwe special ukuthi labaya ilabaya esontweni.
That's right.
They don't go to malls and everywhere. So I think it's just a sanction against the church. As I've said, we are speaking on behalf of the church,
That's
not
right.
other sectors and religions.
That's right.
So I think it's an unfair, deliberate against the church. Ukuthi kuvalwe ibandla just because kutholakale abantu khona. It all goes back to a question of being essential in the eyes of the government or in the eyes of our own constituency. Yeah.
No, thank you very much. That is a valid point. And as we take, I'm sure we will check on our WhatsApp if we have any voice notes and as we still would appreciate those calls because the contribution of God's people at this particular time is very critical, and the voice of the church becomes very, 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 very important at this time.
We are taking a stand.
We're taking a stand. We're taking a stand. Whether we'll be listened to or not, it makes no difference. We are taking a stand.
Yeah.
And we are standing for Christ.
For Christ,
We are standing for the cause of Christ.
Amen.
We're standing because we are God's children and God's people.
Amen.
And I was just to I was thinking about Paul when he said we are hard pressed on every side. And I think that verse for me becomes a reality.
It's relevant.
A reality of our lives at this time, because the church is hard pressed on every side. One of the callers said the issue is not just only outside. We're not dealing
internal.
External enemies don't have any power over us.
If there's no internal enemy.
No. But the internal enemies, they create a platform for division. And Jesus said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. And I do believe that this is the reason why the enemy ambushes the church so much. The church is ambushed in left, right, and center. We have a caller. Let's take the call and we'll continue with the conversation. Caller, you are on GKTV. Siyabingelela baba njani?
No, siyaphila nathi. Umfundisi uNtele.
Hey, man of God, how are you, sir?
Siphila kakhulu, singezwa phini.
No, inkosi siphethe kahle kakhulu.
No, siyabonga kakhulu. Cha, uma singakhuluma impela amatsha yo.
Yes, sir.
No. Nathi nami ngithanda ukuba ngisho nje one point. And emphasize the point oyisho and namanje umpostoli uyayisho ukuthi asikho ngempela isidingo, and sesibonile ukuthi asikho ngempela isidingo sokuvela ibandla, ngoba njengoba kesho manje nje ukuthi the very same people abaya eitolo are the very same people that will go emabandleni.
That's right.
But
That's right.
And another point ukuthi kubo bonke abakhulumayo bebuka inhlolovo ye COVID ukuthi impendula yikho namhlanje, hayi ukuthi ngo September this thing will be over. Kuyacaca ukuthi ayizuba khona manje namhlanje, and kuzo zonke izinhlaka you speaking about sport, siyalalela ukuthi i-conversation eyokuthi kubuyelwa kanjani, ebholeni kubuyela kanjani, ekoleni kubuyela kanjani. It is only the church that ayikho into that is put in place that says yiphi indlela ezibuya ngaphandle kwale.
There we lost Umfundisi, but I think he was talking about something very important. There's a conversation for all other institutions as to how they're going to be going back to reopening, but there's nobody saying anything about the church as to what are the strategies that are going to be. I even said to somebody, it would have been nice for the president to simply say that we are aware as the church that you are terribly affected at this time, you are in distress, and give us some time as we continue with the consultations, because we understand the importance of the church and the role that the church has played in this country. That alone would mean, even if it's just a political ploy, just to bluff us, but it will mean that you are taking us serious enough to come up with a strategy to pacify us, but not even that. It's just a
small line,
not even a sentence, just a small line that will just talk about the church. And this is something serious.
It's very serious.
This is something very serious. This is something very serious. And Kacheni, I want to pick up on something very controversial.
Okay.
It has potential to take us we may go to jail, but it's fine. The saints will go and march.
Yeah.
But there's something that I want us to discuss. Let's take a caller first, and we're going to get into that discussion.
Okay.
You're on GKTV. Hello.
From Pretoria.
Oh, man of God. Yes.
Yes, sir. Interesting. I hear Abafundisi and your callers are saying, let us look on ourselves on how to prepare ourselves for the going back or for the opening of the church.
Yes, sir.
I hear that, and they are raising valid points. But I think we cannot run away from this fact that we must be recognized as essential first before we can do or plan around policies that we regulate ourselves or precautionary measures of what precautionary measures we are going to take. But first, we need to be recognized as essential, because if not, we cannot plan. You see, so all these other sectors that are planning is because they were first recognized as essential. Then they were able to plan, so that because now we are essential, for you to be kept at that state, you must make then measures of how you are going to make sure that people do not contract or transmit COVID-19.
That's right.
That is our call. That is our cry. That can be first be recognized as essential. Then all these other precautionary measures we will deliberate on, and we will put plans in place, because we are aware that this virus is here and we are living with it. But first, can the government and everyone recognize us as essential, then these other things will follow suit. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you, President Tiban. And I do think that, men of God, Uguti, we definitely are crying for that.
Yeah.
We are definitely crying that it's important for us for that recognition. Even though we are saying that even if government doesn't see us as such, that recognition must be because our constituency see us as essential.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much, Mfundi Swam. We thank you. We value your contribution, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Just to add on that, Impossible, I think the problem begins when some people who belong on our camp refuse to view the church as essential. I think it goes back to we should settle our matters at home before we go. Settle your matter on the way before the judge. Because before the judge never exonerated nobabili because of settled matters. So it all goes back to that. Our constituency, abazalwane, and people who belong to the body of Christ.
That's right.
We must reach a place where we reach a place in common ground.
Yes, sir.
Which we all view the church as essential.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. No, I definitely agree with you. With that is the cry.
Yeah.
That is the cry. And Kacheni, I want us to
yeah.
We're still taking calls. We may be disturbed during the process, but you bear with us. We have to finish this conversation.
Amen.
I looked at the relationship that this country has. I posted something a couple of about 2 weeks ago, but I think it was so complicated because I had a lot of numbers on it. I was just talking about our GDP in relation to the other countries that are within the BRICS relationship. That even though they may have 20%, all of them, they have about 20% voting powers. They have equal shares, but they definitely don't have the same economic strength. We're sitting at about, our GDP is about 370 billion US dollars, and you have China sitting with over 17 point something trillion.
Wow.
So it's a $1 trillion economy, and we are sitting here as a 370 billion US dollars economy. And you look at all the countries that are within the BRICS relationship, China has an upper hand, right? And we have, we know, to take for instance, we know Brazil, that 60% of the people that are in Brazil are Catholics, which have an affiliation to the Vatican. You only have about 22% Christians. You come and you take Russia. Russia was a Soviet Union. It was a communist country, and then Soviet Union collapsed in 1992, and then there was reformation that took place there. But in about 2016, President Putin, and under his administration, they decided that they legislated a law, or anti-terrorism law, anti-terrorism law that said now they will put strict restrictions on the missionary activity of the church. You can't read the Bible publicly. You can't read the Bible. You can't preach to people outside. You can't share your faith. You can't have crusades unless you are doing it in the church. so that people can have a choice to go to the church.
Oh.
You can only evangelize people within the confinements of the church.
You can't go to people.
You can't go to people. And Jesus said, go ye unto the world and preach the gospel. So you can't. You must wait for them to come to you.
Sure.
And then only then can you share your faith. That's Russia now. You look at India, it's a secular state. That is about 2.something% Christian. Right? Only 2.something.
Yeah.
It's and the greater population is subscribes to Hinduism, just over 70%. If though India doesn't recognize any religion, it's a secular state. You look at China now, the big elephant that's in the room. China is a communist party. It's a one-party government. It is run by communists. And we do know the ideologies of communists in relation to religion, in relation to faith. And Christians, they are sitting at about 5.something%. The Catholic Church has already been compromised because there was some document that was signed which culminated to the removal of crosses and those crosses replaced with flags. Right? The only country that I know of that uses the dragon as a symbol of strength, wealth, and power. Right? The dragon that comes from the east. And here we are, we have a relationship, it's an economic relationship with Brazil. I've already told you about Brazil, Russia, India, and China. And all these countries, even though there's no blatant discrimination of the church in Brazil, but there are residuals of the rule of Catholicism there. Right? And I mean, there are other issues that you will know, apart from it as a religious institution, but issues that we'll know, which I don't want to get into now, lest we get derailed in our conversation. And here we are as a country that is sitting at just around, some say 78.9, and Index Mundo, a nation master, says that we are 86.6% Christian, nominal and converted Christians. And here we are. We are a secular country with a greater constituency, with people that are both converted Christians and nominal Christians. And yet, the voice of the church in a country like that cannot be heard. Now, my question has been, what is the implication of our relationship as a country with the BRICS? Is our president by any chance influenced by this relationship, even though he's not telling us? Is he influenced by the decisions that are made globally? And let me put it this way. Is this plane hijacked and only the pilot knows? That's what I want. That's the question I want to answer. Is this plane hijacked
and only the pilot knows?
Yes. Is this the same government that we voted for? Are these the same people that still holds the same views? That even the foundation of the African National Congress itself, the ruling party itself, was started from a theological premise. The substratum of the liberation theology was literally, it was taken from the Bible.
From the Bible.
I always say that even the Freedom Charter is the Bible, in political language, right? And the church has been playing a significant role from the inception of the African National Congress. Men and women of God have been speaking, and I can't help but wonder where are people like Abu Babu Tatu Dandal at this time, where Abantu Abafana Nabo Tatu Desmond Tutu at this particular time. Where is their voice? Because they've always been a voice. They've always been a voice. Now my question is, I don't even see them being consulted. I don't know if they are being consulted. Okay, maybe those ones that are being consulted now are those that are within what we will term as the current leadership. Do you think that there is any implication in relation to our relationship with the BRICS country?
Well, to comment on that, Impostoli, I think ngizocela ukembelisha on your point oyenza about South Africa, the formation of the African National Congress, which is our current government. Maubheki attitude, the behavior, the culture of Africa, more especially South Africa, is formed by biblical values.
That's right.
Mawibuka nje yonke. The way we set our laws, even though our constitution has taken a derail, but if you look at the constitution yethu in years back, even during the apartheid government, even after the apartheid government, the constitution yethu has been formed by biblical beliefs, our culture, the way we've been raised at homes.
Our national anthem.
Our national anthem. We are a God-conscious nation. And to put it bluntly, we are a Christian God-conscious nation. It has always been like that. Even though we've respected other religions. But our the dominant religion that has framed the thinking pattern, the syllabus efundiswe ekoleni. Growing up, there was a syllabus here, peeps.
They said the biblical studies. I did that as well.
Biblical studies. It was part of the syllabus of the upbringing of the children educationally. Until there was a derail eyenzeka. Well, ungena kulento ya kuma BRICS. I think the downfall of our country and Africa at large started when we began borrowing ideas from other countries, let alone BRICS. Before 2010, when we BRICS, we subscribe and the BRICS associations. But even before that, we started a habit of borrowing ideas. I think it came with the colonialism. You've been influenced on how to think, how to dress, how to speak. So we were addicted into ideas. If you listen to the president's speech, even March, there is nothing initiated in South Africa. Uzozo ma consultations NZY. Uzozo ma deliver we look at South Africa from a global perspective. We haven't come to a point where we say, what are we saying as South Africa? Where are we going as South Africa? We always want to borrow from other first world countries and so on. Coming to into a BRICS, ama nations are Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and then South Africa. I think government we can say partly the plane might have been hijacked. Why am I saying that? Government is under so much pressure. Yoguthi agcine evume passes some bills without considering from his own thinking state, without being influenced by other people. Why am I saying that? He's currently the chairperson of African Union, Ogumbega on the front line of Africa. So yonke into efuna ingene, he becomes the doorway for Africa. Now South Africa is considered as a gate to Africa. So if you win in South Africa, you have won Africa yonke, because the chairperson obviously will influence abantu aba under him, his board, with African Union. So lento affiliation ne BRICS with communist party, with communist countries and countries that don't value God. Even if it's indirect or directly, it has influenced us somehow. Even if it is indirect or indirectly, the Bible says corrupts good behavior. So your company, they will influence you somehow. Even if it's direct or indirectly, you will end up sharing their thoughts, their beliefs and cultures. So you can't run away from a point of view. Relationship with China, Russia has not influenced us on how we view religion, particularly Christianity.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure by o'clock. Yeah. I mean, they don't have to always have public conversations. They don't always have to take pictures. Like our parents, you'll find that Tolubaba say figure in cleaning. Sends his in to
influence.
Yeah. This is how we deal with them.
This is how we stock but they will end up talking about other things. It's the same case.
And all of a sudden, Ubaba now comes with the culture. I told it from a borrowed culture. I told him because Abangan have told him that this is how we deal with the problem.
That is what we are suffering.
And this for me is the hypothesis. It may not be. It is something that has to get people talking. That is this the reflection of our reality?
Sure.
Is this what is happening in our country? Because this is for the first time in the history of this country, we see the church snubbed and
strongly.
Snubbed, ignored, sanctioned, and just treated like it doesn't exist. And now I don't even know. Look at the case of Muslims, and I don't know when they will be appearing at the Constitutional Court to present their case, and that may also be used. Because they may not have a strong case, it may be used against them, and then that will come back. And I suspect that if the church is to take government to the Constitutional Court, we may be given a date for December. We may be given a date for December to appear in December to present our case. Why? Because there must be a prolongation.
A delay.
Now, this is where the danger is. Time and space are dangerous variables because once they are presented, they change certain things. In the process, the church is changing. In the process, people are changing. In the process, and we have now a responsibility to gear ourselves up to deal with the change that is imposed on us by the current state of affairs. So I pray, Guti, when abazalwane will take this seriously. Pray, read, study, and research and look at 10 sides of the story before you take things on face value. And no matter how wrong the church is, if the church is wrong, it is still the church. And we have a responsibility. The church is a family. One of the metaphors that is used in the Bible, the church is a family. We are an army. We are an army. We are the body. We are the bride. As an army, we are engaged in warfare. As the body, we must be faithful to operate. As the bride, we must as the body, we must have faith to function. As the bride, we must be faithful and wait for the groom. But as a family, that's another side. How do we look at each other? And I think the family element is slowly being collapsed by different opinions and different ideas. People don't get it. We are a family. At the end of the day, we are a family. I hope she's not watching. She used to be taught, and one day Saskalanga is complaining, and my father said, istalwa sagini this. Istalwa sagini. Ni complaining, but at the same time,
you can't change that.
Yeah, you can't change the fact that you share the same blood. We are all made. We are all made a new man, all made by the blood of Christ. And we are a family. And we have a responsibility, Kachin, that even when we disagree, that element of family must not be lost. Even when we disagree, that element that we are God's people and we are a family of God must not be lost.
Taken away from us.
Let's take a caller as we continue with the conversation. Caller, you are on GKTV. Bongani Hlubi, siyaphila njani baba?
No, siyaphila kakhulu.
Where are you calling us from, Bongani?
I'm calling you people from Rathebe-A.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir.
I'm following and I've been watching. I'm a nobody, I'm just your follower. But it is I think of my interest as well. And iyangijabulisa ilokhunjani ukuthi sisukumele lento siveze kanje nama views
that's right
about the whole issue. And in as much as we are talking about the COVID-19 as a factor in all this, I am sure in as much as you are not bringing it into light that there are greater factors beyond just this pandemic that is happening, which might affect the church permanently.
That's right.
Moving forward. Yeah. So we can discuss that and actually see what those factors are. But into yami ETA, whatever it is, we already understand now. And I posted in Postolin on timeline about the same thing, and I'm going to repeat it. We already understand now as the church. How are we looked at as our authorities? Are we something important in their eyes and so on? Now, having said that, there is another caller who just called. If it calls we need to toy. Let us do that, which is okay because we want our voice to be heard. But what I'm saying is that is another strategy. We already see a start one notice, and then we cannot force people to actually notice us if they don't want to, because generally and naturally people will always do what they want to do. And we do not have control over another person. We can have control within our organization or how we organize ourselves. So now, it goes back to you know what? Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Because at that time, he knew that, okay, Caesar is in control. Now let me put things in order in my own house. So in as much as but even in the early church, as it's got in the book of Acts, they had their own sort of governmental system and how they run themselves. It doesn't have to be identical to that, but it can be formed. You know, we can do something to, just like you Bafundis are saying that we are the majority. We cannot force these people. They might have their agenda, just like they're saying, what happened that the plane is hijacked? The pilot only knows, but we don't know this. But we can only organize ourselves to say, if it's really happening like that, now it's really time we come together. We can see an advantage in all these things. Instead of moaning about it, we can then say it is an opportunity for the church to actually come together and see what we need to do and set up our own economical system, set up our own even educational system.
That's right.
We need to be coming together and saying, okay, who is a developer now? Sit in that position. We're gonna need you in church. Who is a lawyer? Who is this and that? We could go to our respective work during the day, but we can spare some hours and actually organize ourselves just for the sake of saying that decisions wait. But as it stands, and just like the nation about students would when we look back in the Bible, right now we're in politics, yona enamandla over the church. But actually the God's people, the God's congregation, look at Israel, they were the politics. They were the educational institution. The church ran everything. You know what I'm trying to say? So makhulunywa ngokuhijackwa lento yahijackwa ngesikhathi ithatha also politics. Kwase kube ngathi bahambisana nathi. Manje basijikela endleleni. Now they're showing us ukuthi now ithina esesiphethe. Actually this aspect we don't need. Kanti actually i-aspect kaNkulunkulu iyona yayiphambili ngoba phela uholwa nje kwezwe. Political matters and so on, those people had to be godly. It was about land issues, more of political issues. So if we have to fix things, yes, we can't be aggressive, it's another strategy, but we can't be smart and actually try to organize ourselves covertly, secretly, where we are saying and saying, this is essential. It's not ukuthi I said the stokfela esithile sabasebenzayo to start setting in economic. Let us do that. Let us brainstorm and do that. And by doing that, you get we want them to recognize us. And something like this, I am saying, I don't know in Muslim religion and culture, but I know beyond being a religion, they have got some government or some economy. I don't know how they run, but I'm saying we can set it up in a way that is suitable to us in our time, and like we can think and come around that. I mean that is my view of it. It is not late. We can still do something, and I'm really happy, Babu Rathebe, to actually to come up with this TV and so on to actually voice it out and see what we can do to try and meaning to say we can only succeed when we put heads together and formulate ways of moving forward.
No, thank you so much, Pungani. Thank you. What a powerful, very, very powerful contribution, and very, very valid contribution of that I do think that is very necessary for this particular time. It's something. It's something, and creating economies. And Muslims have their own judiciary system. That is why they normally, under normal circumstances, you won't find them accusing each other. They have their own economic system. Within all the major banks in South Africa, they have. They also have their own. Banking system. So that was very powerful. Then they show Upungani Lapa a Richards Bay.
Organize and strategize.
Yes, organize and strategize. Reinvent ourselves in the midst of this crisis. Let's take another caller. Caller, you're on GKTV. Hello. Siyaphila ninjani?
Ngiyaphila nami, ngiyabonga kakhulu man of God.
Yes.
Yes, ngiyabonga kakhulu futhi ngale topic enivulile like iyasivula amehlo.
Who are we talking to? Who are we speaking to?
Uthandi.
Thandi, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you from Joburg.
From Johannesburg. Thank you so much. You can go ahead, Siswam.
Okay, good. Ngiyabonga baba. Okay, what I'm saying is like, you know, we were so happy to be free in 1994 when they said that South Africa is free. You understand? I was still young back then.
Yes.
But then when we were growing, we grew up in a praying actually. Kuma assembles, before we start study class, we wouldn't do anything without God. And now after that, parliament, I see a parliament, even if they have their meetings, they don't pray. So how come we say those people, they are in God? They don't involve God in everything, whatever that they're doing. And I've never seen them praying even before they start the meeting, even if they end their meeting. So that's where this thing comes. Like, I don't understand. I get confused. I'm confused because there's nothing we can do without God.
Yo. I'm listening, sis. Yes, no, we're listening.
Yes, Baba. So, mabezothatha izinqumo ze-country abantu bakaNkulunkulu. Fanele bakhonsathe uNkulunkulu ngabantu bakhe first. I think that's very important. But in South Africa, I've never seen bekhuleka eParliament. So, mina ngokubuka kwami, it gave me something else. As you said, there is something that I don't know. You understand? But it's so deep, actually. I should say.
No, thank you very much, Sis Thandi, and very that's what Apostle Sihlendro was saying as well. That umthandazo, we are a God-conscious country. We grew up knowing, but unfortunately, our country was declared a secular state. So when you live in a secular state, anything goes in a secular state. It's a democracy, and there is no religion that is recognized even though by constituency the Christian community is by far a larger on a larger scale, but we find that our government is not really interested in that because of the country being a secular state. But nevertheless, thank you so much for your contribution all the way from Joburg. Siyabonga kakhulu, and we pray and trust that God will give us a breakthrough.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brother. May the Lord bless you today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sister. Thank you.
Just to add on that, Apostle.
Yes,
I think we should not ignore lento yokuthi even though lockdown is national, but it is degrading the church in the eyes of society to some extent. Because post-COVID, how are people going to view the church? We should also think. We should also project to the future. Ukuthi iqale lento ngokuvalwa kwemthandazo ezemenshina uthande from Joburg, uvalwa kwemthandazo ezikoleni and so on. Lento ye COVID, even though it's national, ivali regulated all gatherings, social, religious and entertainment. But after COVID-19, the church will be degraded in the eyes of society. Ukuthi ngesikhathi kuvalwa yonke into nabantu akade bememezela ukuthi
could it be intentional?
It could be intentional. Whether it's intentional or not.
Let's engage on that, because we're going all up now. We are not pulling any punches now. We're not pulling any punches. Could it be intentional that all of these other things are just a collateral damage?
Okay.
But the intended target is the church.
It could be
possible.
It's possible. It's possible. And I wouldn't want anyone to be ignorant
of that,
of the thoughts. Let that thoughts be there in our minds, even if it does not dominate our general thinking. But let it just be there in our minds. It could be possible. This is a direct attack to the church, but it is made innocent by involving other sectors, so that we are not given a right to play victim. You know, just like people are voicing out, the church is playing victim. Everyone is affected by this. Everyone is affected by that. But we know the truth of the matter is, the church is essential, and we believe that the God of the Bible is the only true God. So we must not ignore that the attack could be directly and intentionally towards the church.
talk about interfaith, because you're talking, we believe that the God of the Bible, and all of a sudden there is an establishment now, and it has been there. I've been in those, and remember that everybody that's listening to us, we are speaking for the church.
Yeah,
we are the church. We're not all roads lead no phuma ngase Catholic ngase Richmond ngakuphi noma uphuma ngase Ntshanga kodwa uyeThekwini.
Yeah.
But now we say there's only one road to God.
Yeah.
And that's why I was telling somebody that persecution does not come and say, hey, I'm here to persecute you. No. Persecution will legislate laws that two things should happen. If you bow, you will be victimized.
Okay.
You will be saved.
Yeah.
You'll be saved. But if you disobey and rebel against the status quo, then you will be persecuted. But the intention, somebody will say, no, the intention was not to persecute you. But the only way that you can survive is for you to lose who you are. And when you lose who you are and compromise who you are, then you are safe. But for as soon as you stand and say, but I'm not bowing to this is who I am, then there's antagonism against the hostility and all these other problems. And this is where we are saying persecution may not come directly, but if the church continues to want to be the church may face persecution.
They may face
I promise you. And I'm not sure if South Africans are ready for this, because this was an abrupt interruption of our freedom of religion. Abrupt. This was like a freak wave. It is not something that we were prepared for. We have read about it, we have seen it in different countries, but we have never seen it in our own country.
Sure.
We have never been in a situation where we have no freedom of movement in relation to expressing our religious beliefs. You know, so and people must not be carried with semantics and derail. When we say religious, they say we are not a religion, we are a relationship. We know that, but for the sake of the conversation, we will use the normal terminology to try and make sense. You know, so I don't like us getting derailed because of semantics and getting technical about these things. So I somehow we must begin to contemplate that this may be intentional. Let me take another caller, Kachin. Okay. But we're gonna have to wrap up. Yeah. But you know, I'm enjoying this so much, but we're gonna have to wrap up. But we're gonna take this caller quickly. Caller, you are on GKTV. Yes, sanibona baba njani? Siyaphila. Sikhuluma nobani usifonele kuphi?
Ukhabazela lapho ndi.
Umfundisi umkhize Leolundi.
Yebo ba.
Gwabe.
Niyaphila mfowethu.
Ukhabazela siphilile man, siphilile umuntu kaNkulunkulu.
Isiphilile nathi.
Speak to us, sir.
Cha, nithi nama ke ngibeke nje kulolu daba oluseyikhebeni. Elami lithi njoba kade beka nje sisi ukuthi kusukela pre-1994 siyekhululeka sasihambisana sonke kungekho wayibuka omunye, kodwa mase sikhululekile ke wonke umuntu useyibukela elakhe isayidi. But ke sesifikelana ke sonke sesibona khona ukuthi kungathi kuloku bunye bethu khona abasala ngemuva. Yes, so ke ngimangibuka ke njengebandla nje ngibuka into yokuqala esishayisayo kulezinto esikhala ngazo. Yokuqala ukuthi sinamazi cishe amaningi asikhulumelayo.
Eish.
Eyami ke Pastor ithi uma bengathiwa mhlambe sithola indlela yokuqoqa izwi lebandla South Africa libe linye, ngoba uma uhulumeni enza noma ngabe yini, noma ngabe wenza into engazivuni sonke noma esivunayo, kodwa usuke naye asuke emgodle ekwapheni othumela ibandla, kodwa uthola ukuthi kulosimele kodwa futhi asimelelekile. Yabona nje lento, uma ngathiwa singazilinye ngeke sidinge nanokubacela uhulumeni ukuthi siyamcela ukuthi asinake uyoyisondeza yena kithi, ngoba uyobebona ukuthi we are united futhi sinamandla ngoba lento yobunye iyasukumisa uNkulunkulu ezulwini ebona abantu beyikhandela nje umbhoshongo wathi uyabona nje wabe kanjena nje ngeke bavijwe
yo
asiba athenge so ke nathi ke masingake sibambe lapho ngicabanga ukuthi ngiyakubona konke kuyo ama factors kodwa nje ngisakhalela leyo ukuthi uma ethi umongameli izolo uya engage nebandla une constructive engagement nebandla yabona sengiyayibuzela nje ngenhliziyo yami ukuthi ngabe ubesho yipi party yalo yabona mhlawumbe ukhona no consolidator zonke lesikhala ngazo mhlawumbe izona nezichulwa mhlawumbe lo bethulu bethula nayo okunye kodwa ekuthule egameni lebandla so ke uma singathola nje lo 78% ukuqoqa ngempela uyabona ube ngathi side nelodwa lesikhuluma ngawo ngiyacabanga ukuthi kwi democracy yonke it is about number siyokwazi ukuthi sidominate nathi ngendlela le okudominatewa ngayo ukuthi bazovotwa nathi sivote into siyiphikise masiyiphikisa sivume masivume evuna thina bese siyawina
Very valid point lapho Khabazela, and I think no Pungane was also from Richards Bay sharing the same sentiments of us as a church now building ourselves and forge our way and create a community for us that will be recognized by all men.
Ileyo nje yami impostoli bengithi nama angiyibeke kulesikhathi sibhekene naso.
Khabazela sibongile kakhulu baba uKhabazela Olundi, thank you so much for the call.
Thanks baba,
siyabonga kakhulu. uKhabazela Olundi, I think ubeke a very valid point, very strong point lapha, and I think lento ukuthi I've always believed when Mpostoli ukuthi church and state are never meant to be church is not meant to control the state, neither is the state meant to control the church. Church must influence, because we are salt and light. You know, we must influence. We must influence laws and laws that are legislated in our country, but we must also understand the dynamics that come with democracy. We are a theocracy within a democracy. We are God's government within a secular government, and we have by large influenced this government in a number of ways. You know, last year in this province, for a whole month, there was by the former premier, Utatu Matingwan, we had prayers in this province. For a whole month, departments were praying, people were praying, you know, and I had a privilege to preach to one of the gatherings that were organized by the office of the premier here at Royal Showgrounds. It was packed, public servants were there, and we I don't know how many people we had there, but we had a lot of people there, because we're in the largest hall within the Royal Showgrounds, and people that were receiving the word of God, and you can tell that these people are God conscious. We are living in a God conscious nation, and at the same time we are so snapped. And these are things that we must talk about. These are things that we may engage in. We're going to take the last break, Acheni, and when we come back, we're going to wrap up. And if we do have some WhatsApp messages, we'd also like to read those messages, so that the people of God would also know that we have managed to go through some of the things that they have written to us. Umpostolune Rathebe, unompostolu sihlela. A Cry for the Church on GKTV. We'll be back shortly. God bless you. Welcome back on A Cry for the Church on GKTV. Pastor Rathebe, your host. Angakhuluma amatshe sikhona. Ngihleli no Katsheni la umhlobo wami. Katsheni kunomuntu la who is asking a question.
Okay.
Ubekhuluma about I'm having a technical problem, but ubebuza ukuthi this is a powerful talk, and the question is surrounded that, but politicians, because there are politicians that are Christians.
Okay.
And ithini indaba why kungakhulumeki, because kunama politicians abazalwane who go to church this point in time.
Okay.
What is their take and what is their contribution in relation to what is happening?
I think it's a matter of principle of representation. Ukuthi when you separate your faith from your profession, ukuthi umuntu mayesemsebenzini akahlanganise lutho nenkolo, mayesesontweni uyayikhumula into yokuthi I'm a politician, when I go to church I'm a believer, I'm a member of so and so ministries. So I think it comes to that many people, politicians and so on, they want to separate ukuthi when I'm at work I represent the government. When I'm at church, I represent God, of which I think it comes to, we need to redefine that. Uguti, the matter of deployment.
When he wanted to influence Cyrus, Esther was planted in. When he wanted to influence Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel was planted in. When he wanted to deal with Dagon, he allowed the Ark of the Covenant to be captured so he can deal with Dagon. When he wanted to change humanity, Jesus had to come and invade, to be planted within humanity, so that because it's a system. God does not change a system outside of a system. He changes a system
from within.
Wow. And there are people that have been deployed, but they didn't know. Because they separated their vocation and their faith. And they didn't know that I am where I am because God has strategically placed me to be the voice of those that are outside. That is why Mordecai had to remind Esther that Esther, you're not just coming in here to be a queen. You're not just coming here to look glamorous and smell good. You are here to represent the voice of those that are outside. And I think as we wrap this up, men of God, we want to encourage believers that are in strategic positions that are close to that have proximity to leadership, that please understand that at this particular time, keeping silent and to keep your job, keeping silent because you want to be politically correct at this particular time will not help us. God planted people strategically to be a voice of those that are outside. God knew that at this time. I am so grateful that there is a man planted by God who is the Chief Justice in this country at the Constitutional Court, Chief Justice Mehwe, who's not digging about the bush, who is not, everybody who knows him knows his convictions, knows he's a Christian. He's not shying around. He's not trying to be diplomatic around it. He's not trying to be, nice, but he's very vocal about his convictions. And people have come to a place where they respect him for his convictions. Even those that are not Christians, but they see this man.
Vocal about it.
Yeah, because leadership without convictions is not healthy for anybody. People must understand the importance of convictions. So we appeal to the people of God at this particular time. We appeal. I appealed the other day that there are multi-millionaires that are raised by God, given money by God. This is time that you need to take your resources and plant them. We're not talking about going buy a pastor a car, buying a house for. No. There's nothing wrong with that. But we need men and women of God now, men that have apostles in the marketplace who will say, Kachen, I'm willing to invest 5 billion rands. I'm willing to get money and invest money in GKTV. I want the voice of the church to be heard. We want this not only on Facebook, but we want it to be on DSTV so that it can provide a platform for the church. Because you can see that mainstream media is cutting us. It's really cutting us. They are cutting us, or if they give us attention, sometimes they misquote us. It happens a lot. So we need multimillionaires. We need billionaires in the kingdom of God that will say, now it's time for us. Let's have the station. Let's start a radio station. Let's invest in something that is already existing. Let us be able to do all these things. Why?
Yeah.
Because we understand what time it is. We understand that the voice of the church must be amplified. And the voice of the church will not be amplified without resources. If the voice of the church has to be amplified, somebody must come with their resources.
Yeah.
It does not matter what those resources are. But people must come to a place now where they say, we are going to make it a point that the voice of the church is heard. And the cry of the church is heard. Now, well, thank you so much for watching us today.
Amen.
And for being with us and for the comments and the calls. We really appreciate. Apostle, amazokvala baba seskotuga siemakai.
I think izovalwa ngamazwi just to add on what you just said, Apostle.
Yes, sir.
Point Elisha. When Mordecai speaks to Esther, uthi kuyena, you must know, if you keep silent at this time, deliverance of the Jews
will come.
Even if it does not come from you,
but it will come.
God will make a way. It will come. But you must know this: you will perish.
And your father's house.
And your father's house. Because you have joined the system and you have adopted its values, whereas God planted you to infiltrate it with the values of God's kingdom. So he says, if you fail to voice out and bring about deliverance for the Jews, you must know deliverance will come. We are saying to the church, deliverance will surely come. Whether it comes through the government, whether it comes through politics, whether it comes through multi-millionaires, but God will surely make a way, because Jesus said, upon this rock I'm going to build my church, and the gates of Hades shall never prevail against the church. So deliverance will come. Make sure that you are part of those people who are bringing deliverance, because if you don't, you will suffer with those people. Take a stand as Rahab. Favor the spies, because when judgment comes upon the city, you will be spared. If you favor the spies, if you favor the voice of the church, when judgment comes upon Babylon, when the systems of this world is being destroyed, those people who have favored the kingdom of God and have favored the voice of the church will be spared with the kingdom of God. So don't be silent at this time.
Don't be silent at this time.
Amen.
Don't be silent. Be like a Rahab.
Amen.
That protected the spies. Be like Joseph of Arimathea.
Amen.
Who took the body of Christ and covered it from shame. He took his tomb to take the body that people were laughing. I pray that God will raise those Josephs of Arimathea who will hide the body at the time the body is going through a moment of pain and crisis.
Amen.
Well, thank you for watching us. Apostle, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We love having you here.
Praise God.
And we value your contribution.
Praise God.
Thank you so much for your time. From all of us here at GKTV, a cry for the church, we would like to say thank you for watching. We will see you and God bless you. Angakhuluma maje sikhona. So we ibonane futhi.
Amen.
Greetings, blessed viewers. This is Apostle Sambulo. Siyabingelele Makaya, Dumela, Abhishek. Sanibonani everybody who's watching GKTV. Thank you for watching GKTV. We love you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you to those who are partnering with us, making this work a huge success. Siyantanda bagwethu, siyantanda, and we promise to give you the best. We are bringing you the best of shows. We are promoting the kingdom of God like never before. We are inviting even more people to partner with us in preaching this gospel, in raising up the banner of Christ. We love you. We love you so much. Thank you for your partnership. Our partnership details are on your screen right now. I want you to partner right now. Take that cell phone, make a transfer right now. To e-wallet, money transfer, money market, whatever it is. Take the account number that relates with your bank and partner with us. We love you. We appreciate you. It's not easy, but we are pushing because of the grace of God, and also God raising the partners that are like you, that are supporting us, that are loving us and carrying us all the way. It has never been easy working during the lockdown, but God makes it possible. So we thank you for partnering with us, and may the Lord continue to bless you as you continue to partner with us. I love you. I love you. I love you. I promise you, more programs are coming, more shows are coming. You are going to have the best time in the presence of the Lord. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be awesome. Thank you. I love you. GKTV Apostle Sambulo. Love you.